pit. It's called Israeli Dodgeball, and it's really terrifically fun. The kids just live to get in there, and it just requires they play down in a pit to keep the ball from going out
They
of
have a
there.
traveling one that, who has it?
Lake Beauty has one.
But I saw this at Live Better, Live Longer. They had one that they have a traveling one.
They're not
they
that
take
hard
it
to
around.
put in. They don't take up a whole lot of room.
It's a portable one, so they bring it around to different events.
Dodgeball?
Israeli dodgeball is.
Yeah, or Gaga.
Israeli?
Gaga Ball, or there's other names, but they have it at Lake Beauty if you want to see. They have a permanent one there.
My boys have played it out there.
And
They love that.
the kids get crazy about that game. They're not so crazy about tetherball anymore, but some kids still, we don't have anything like that. But that's another activity that they will play. There's another game that's called 9 Square that I actually have a set I made, but it's made out of PVC pipe and it snaps together and that. And it's a game anybody can play, and you have to hit the ball up in the squares, and you could put up a permanent one and kids would play that like crazy. That's another game that's out at Lake Beauty. That's where I first saw it. And adults, little kids, everybody gets out there because anyone can play it. I'll get you some info on that if you guys want to see it next time.
We got our boat access.
Boat access we have,
Yeah, I didn't include those in the park list, but they're there. So.
yeah.
Canoe access.
Canoe access, we have them. Cross-country skiing, there again, you have, other than the park,
Golf course.
golf course.
And that has been utilized by the school for cross country skiing this winter. They're
Lindbergh
And
Park
you've got
also.
Lindbergh.
Disc golf, I think we need to, the course out there, I think they're gonna add 9 more holes, talking to Bukowski. Yeah, the county one. He was out there, it was funny because he was out there seeing if how much interest was in it. He fell asleep while he was counting the people, and he was right on the course. Went up and I startled him because he just woke up like. But that one gets used quite a bit.
It does.
And you're talking,
The county.
Belperry.
Yeah.
Bell Prairie Park, but if there's a way we can get one closer to town, it'd be nice too. They both will get utilized because I play that game. I travel all over. I go to Austin, Minnesota, where there's a 21 hole, and Rochester, and these people that play these things, if you make one, they'll come to your town.
Another thing for the Ark.
I think the Ark would be a good spot. They actually have a plan in place for one out there. A guy named Bruce Pollock, he's a teacher at Lady of Lourdes, Mary's of Lourdes. He's a gym teacher there. He put together one because he's almost like a pro. He was 4th in the nation in his division. So he'd be a guy you could talk to.
Are they the full cage and the
Yeah.
and
And the cage-
the T pads too, like even the concrete pads for
Each cage is
Starting.
fairly expensive. They're 400 some bucks.
if you want to get the really good ones and,
Yeah.
Disc Golf Associated rated. So yeah,
And then
you
you
need
need
those, and that actually has a little experience with that. We built one in Madison. A local guy who actually is now a professional disc golf player. He helped design and build it, and you need to have the right baskets and having a concrete pad for basically it's like the tee box
Yeah.
to start with. So if you have those, and you could be hosting events with that too. So
Bruce Pollock is a certified ref around for that. And he goes all over. When they had their nationals, Rochester held the nationals like 3 years ago. But they try to get them around the country, and they draw in a lot of people.
yeah, they're low maintenance item thing, but can be a good draw. not gonna generate much for revenue, on the course, but
Not on the course, but,
you have people that sell the discs in town. And
yeah.
Dog parks, we have Mill Park, Laberge, North Pine Grove,
Bellberry.
Bill Prairie.
That's the worst. That's
It's
county.
county park.
We utilize it.
Oh, yeah, that's not our concern.
These exercise trails on North Pine Grove, that's what that area in the back is set up for. We're close to finishing it.
But really, we have a trail system right now in place that runs through just about all of the parks. If you consider, what is there, 4.7 miles of trails in Lindbergh State Park, you've got the trails all the way, you have to go on some sidewalks, but all the way from Maple Island through Laberge, Mill Park, they all, Pine Grove Park, North Pine Grove Park, they all have trails.
I think Mill Park, the trail system is probably, would be one of the best things to develop that park. Because, it's not that expensive to set up.
But I don't think we should try and do anything until we know for sure what MCNL is gonna do.
So we're doing something
Yeah.
with the road into there.
Yeah, MGL's talking about putting it on the north end.
Once they figure out what they're gonna do and how they're gonna do it, that's the time to decide whether, and I would also wait. I heard that fishing ladder is not a dead issue yet either. They keep bringing that still in the bonding mill in the state, in the DNR, so until the higher ups decide what they wanna do, I wouldn't get too wild with that.
Putting too much money down there.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but that would be a good one where you talk about fishing, develop a little better fishing approach coming in there, and some trails for people to walk around. The more visual or more people get involved in that park, the more likely, You might
cut
get
down
something
vandalism, cut down
yeah.
and then last year we had the beaver helping us out, so they were getting some areas cleared out in there so that you can get to the river. So maybe it'll get better.
Some returning beavers to clean up that shoreline. Gardens, isn't that over at,
Camera.
Gamrot, Veterans, Maple Island,
James Green.
James Green, yes.
Hockey and golf are kind of limited. I don't see us putting up any more outdoor hockey rinks anywhere.
two of them,
Probably a bigger need for an indoor rink than.
And that's exactly,
they got an outdoor at the
That's
school
what I-
and two
what I
other
heard.
ones in town,
Yeah.
we're covered. Horseshoes,
They used to have that at the west side, at the park over there. That was big.
yes,
We
it
had
was.
tournaments. I don't know how excited people are about horseshoe anymore.
They used to have horseshoe pits in Pine Grove Park, too.
Yeah, they did.
Are they gone?
I haven't seen it for years and years.
Doug Hanowski was the big horseshoe guy that would set that all up, and he was the one who brought in the tournaments and that on the west side. And he made sure he maintained them, he set them up, he set the tournaments up, and boy, that used to be a lively thing. Twice a week in the evenings, you'd hear them guys out there throwing horseshoe and drinking their beer.
well, I think if you found someone who was interested in starting a league or, organizing some tournaments, then we'd get more into it, but
The only thing that I've seen with horseshoes is like bars putting up a horseshoe area so that they have, it's kind of something to do
maybe
with
let the
on
private
their
sector
outside.
take care of it.
Then I just don't know what the
Yeah.
city with liability and having alcohol on properties and.
No, you can't do that.
Seeing
Yeah.
people kind of lose interest in that pool. There are 2 stakes still over at Flippy Park if you complete it. So if you got some shoes and you just want to go pitch some, they got 2
Terrible
stakes in the
if I
ground over
can.
there.
I can hit them, but I just can't get them to hook in.
I like to play the bank shot.
Ice skating, other than the ones we have, we are flooding this right now again in
Yep,
Pine
yep.
Tree Park.
That one should be.
Do we wanna continue doing that?
Do you flood the outside of,
Yeah, the baseball
Okay.
diamond field.
Oh, it's so hard with the sand to keep that water in there.
what can you do to change that? Is there a way to haul something in there and make a better base?
There probably is, but.
Or look for a different spot? It used to
Well,
be,
that was kind of the question that Greg had brought up about that, is the fact that being so sandy, it's so hard to keep the water in there. Unless, of course, we get a bunch of rain before winter time and it stays frozen. Otherwise, do we want to develop a softball field that's there now? Do we want to develop that better? If you flood a softball field, you're gonna kill the grass.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the problem. They're conflicting sports. The baseball and softball, you want to drain the water away, and ice skating outside, you want the clay
Yeah.
soil to keep it in.
boy. Problem with Little Falls is there's so much sand everywhere. The west side of it.
No, you don't have to hardly add water, just put it in Monterey Park.
Well, why not?
You don't,
Yeah.
the water is right there.
Yeah.
You guys, there's light out there, you'd have more people around, cut down the vandalism. Maybe that's an ideal spot to put one.
I don't know. I never thought about it
If
before.
this one isn't really suited for ice skating, I guess, it's,
This one here, as soon as it warms up, that stuff's gone, and then you're out there skating and you're tripping over little pockets of dirt.
but this is one place we do have a warming house, so there you go.
They don't use it
I
though,
don't use it.
You don't?
No.
because there was a cost involved in maintaining that and watching it.
Well, I'd say flood it this year, then maybe we'll decide to make a nicer ball field out of there. You guys excavate some dirt, maybe you can dump some in there.
I think
It is
that,
low, that's the thing, you could do a lot with bringing dirt in there. I mean, it's already low enough where you could put more dirt on top of it and not have to change what you've got.
I like the ball field idea, and then consider Le Bourget for ice rink. And it's given that park a little more use to better parking there. Here, you can't get that many people here.
Walking over from the city park.
No city park here.
Yeah.
Kitchen, what's that?
Ah.
Is that community building that we were thinking from Labergé and?
Well, we have a kitchen over at, over at Pine Grove Park in the shelter house. I do believe there's
Mhm.
something in there.
Yep.
I don't know where else we have them.
I don't believe there is a
Lions,
kitchen
of
there.
course, has one on the east side, but that's not our park.
We do have a small kitchen area in in Lindbergh complex in the warming.
Okay.
There's a small kitchen area in there. There's no kitchen, it's a serving area.
Yeah.
Is what it
Is
is.
there a sink at all, or?
The only,
Water service?
other than the bathrooms, I think the only kitchen that, it's not the city, or is that the county? What is the one that they put in the complex right here, the
The soccer
Westliner
fields?
building?
The food hub, the food market, Sprout.
That's something that's county though, that's not.
It's
anything with the city,
it's
is it?
Sprout is the organization, yeah, it's not city, it's food marketplace. for local farmers, so.
I don't think that's a priority
Or
of ours to get a kitchen.
cooperative.
No. The grill thing,
I think it's for if you were going to have a park that was going to host, reunions for people that they could bring in their food and be able to serve it and then have an ability to clean it up afterwards, but I think the
Then we
Lions
have
is
the
probably,
north line,
Okay.
the other lines, which is not ours. It's in order to do that, you have to have a roof.
yeah.
I'm gonna go show my face and
It's not-
that's about it.
Places
There's
to
a
be.
lawn, they can
Okay,
serve
I'm in a
beer,
meeting,
got
so I
water
better
in
go.
bathrooms and-
But the kitchen, until you start dealing with something with the community center, I don't think you have.
No, I would wait till that bigger.
I'll fill you in, but right now I have to go back to this meeting.
Picnic table and grill.
Bye.
Right now, picnic tables, other than we have a lot of them in all the parks,
Can,
but with grills, I think the only place is
Pine Grove Park.
Lindbergh Park. I would,
is there,
myself, I would like to see grills like the ones that were put in Lindbergh Park a few years ago by the leadership anyway. Them are state approved,
Okay.
grill thing, rims where you
Yep.
can grill and
Mhm.
do.
So
What
we're
parks
gonna
would you
set
like
that
to
in
see in
there.
it?
Labergé for sure.
Do I remember seeing
How about-
Pine Grove Park?
Pine Grove North
They
has
used
that
to have
shelter. And I go out there and I make fires in that pit and
They don't, that's not there no more.
the shelter.
The shelter's there, but the pit's not there.
Can you put some kind of grilling system in there because that used to vent out through the roof?
And I have no idea how that is. You had the big ring,
Yeah,
the inside, the outside, the WAPA ring with the center one in the middle of the park. I don't believe that's utilized at all. And you used to have them in the parking lot right along the fence where the buffalo used to be.
Mhm.
There was all kinds of them there, the brick ones. They tore them all out.
well, that's something that North End, people used to use that. I used it all the time.
A lot of people would.
If we could get some kind of grill system in there, it wouldn't have to be a big pit like you're talking about where you gotta throw in 10 logs. Something smaller and
These metal charcoal ones,
Yeah.
what they got at Lindbergh?
people they're under a shelter, they'd even go there on little drizzly days and that, and then a lot of people, when their kids are playing basketball or tennis or
Grill hot dogs
softball,
and stuff.
they like to grill hot dogs there. So,
And the same with people fishing on the river, a Maple Island is
Yeah.
another place that, why couldn't you have a grill area? And I don't know if it would take much more than you probably want a slab of concrete to put this on so that if it tips over,
Yep. And mount it in the ground.
and keep any fire from spreading, that's all you need.
Mhm.
I think it's something to look into, and who knows, maybe some local fabricators might wanna donate something, as long as it meets some kind of a approved standard,
I think there probably is a standard out there for them, especially for fire safety.
And another one would be the Lindbergh Lions Complex, people, even when they're watching, softball games, to grill a hot dog or something for the kids, I don't see what's wrong with that.
It's just to clean them out, we'd have to have our parks, personnel, that would be the only issue, and they don't need cleaning that often, the state parks probably go through, once a week. And they pick up cans or anything that are in there, if there's any little chunks of wood, they just leave it.
I don't think it's a major,
Alright, yeah, thanks.
major anything.
Well, like the picnic table with the roof, we got them at Maple Island, we got it over at Lindbergh Lions complex over there. There's roofs over, bunch of picnic tables, but there's no grills about some over there. I mean,
At Pine Grove, you mean?
no, at Lindbergh,
Oh, okay.
Lindbergh Lines.
You put it right alongside of where the,
I mean, you're having softball tournaments, it sure would be nice to be able to grill a burger, do a hot dog or something like that, you know?
you know, that's something, if it's something that's feasible, you know,
Well, that's what we gotta figure out, if we want, what we want in each one of these parks and what we're gonna spend our money on.
does this have to go through, says to go through city council
It will, we'll make a recommendation
to,
as to where to spend the money, you know, but
I mean, even to put in, because, you know, like the Lions complex there, the Lions will take care of that. If you
They
say we
probably
can
will.
put them in, they'll put them in tomorrow, you know, they'll put in anything that they can, you know.
sure. I mean, I personally think it's a good idea, but,
You know, I think it is, you go down, you know where the waterfront is, and they have a big park in Duluth, they hold that. If you wanna see a good light show, go see that Bentleyville thing, that is out of this world. But they have a lot of places people can take and cook hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff, and this is a nice park. You see people there all the time.
That's,
but we don't have to go quite through the whole list, I mean, it's, we're gonna run out of time here.
again. You know, and the same, you know, we're getting into the big ones too, that,
It's up to you guys.
you know, you would,
Rest
About
group.
15 minutes for a time, so it'll.
we're a little over that.
I have to go out to Crane Meadows, they have a membership supper tonight, and I'm not gonna go miss the hamburgers and the hot dogs.
Let's, hold the rest of this till the next meeting. We
Where
stopped at Picton Table with Grove.
Okay,
And that's the thing, if you guys wanna work on this for
And
the
that's-
next meeting.
Yeah, and let's prioritize where you wanna spend the money.
I mean, under the parks, I listed the parks, and some of them I didn't put anything under, some of them I knew that there was some interest in different things and some cost figures, but if you wanna, I mean, granted, we have, like, we just talked about the shelter and, what was it? Picnic table was rough, we know we got two of them, do we wanna put it in another park besides that? You know, that's up to you guys.
I'd love to.
As opposed to, you know, like the grills and stuff, put them in another park. We'll figure out what it's gonna cost us and prioritize if that's something that, whether it be the Lions that donates money for it, or whether the city puts money in for that kind of stuff, or whether it sits for another year or two or whatever.
Or here.
at least if you have a price, a cost, we can look at that, and then if the Lions choose, or any other outfit chooses to donate, fine, then it gives us money to stick into something else.
And
you know?
that's why it would be nice to have them listed under the parks, and then prioritize, at the next meeting, prioritize what we think is the best way to spend the money, and what we wanna kinda point towards to recommend to the council as to whether it be the city's money, whether it be Lions money, whether it be, donations or something like that, or whether it be a grant.
Do you, want me to get a cost on this Google Ball pit and this 9 square?
I would say it's gonna help, because if that comes up in your discussion, I probably won't be here next time, but if that comes up in your discussion as something that you think should go in a park, and you all agree that it is something that you wanna see done, it's nice to have the figures. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I can find them, Greg can find them, but if you know what you're looking for, it's a little bit easier to.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of, Lake Beauty and talk to Brian out there. He'll tell me what they spent on it and stuff. It won't take me a whole lot to figure it out.
And that's, and I'm gonna check on price. John, we're gonna cut this off here at Tables and Grill and do the rest
And
next.
prioritize.
Prioritize everything you want
Yep,
and anything that you're really interested in. See what you can do if you have time to find prices on this stuff. I'm gonna check in on picnic tables with roof. I'm gonna do this one more time. I'm gonna do something for La Berger Park and picnic tables with grills for La Berger Park and for the Limburg Lions Park, North Pine Grove Park, to see what, I'll probably talk to Marnita too and see what, you know, what kind of it all, see what it costs down at Limburg Park too. That's just so we get a price for them.
what's our approximate budget here on park improvement?
Yeah,
70,000,
I don't know that off the top of my head.
But we have, and
I
let's,
mean, it makes sense to have kind of the budget, and that'll help.
Is there something else you could put on here? Just, we got some land donated north of Colburn's from Gutwalt.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the reasons city council accepted that property, they didn't want anything else that was gonna be a burden as far as to the park systems where it's gonna cost money. If this group wants me to, there's environmental groups that are trying to put up, the guy was talking about like a tree house while stand where you can look off and see the birds, kind of a viewing point, and maybe put boardwalks. Because otherwise that area there is gonna serve no purpose for anything, it's a wetland. Is
We're
that
talking about the
something?
one from, Hidden Holt's up there?
No, you were talking north of Coburn's, you're talking about that swamp
It's
between,
just
between
north of-
the city and the highway,
the land that used to be Pulaski's.
right here.
Okay.
I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, it's
Somewhere
all
in here.
lowland, there's a few high spots, but look at into developing it for, like you were talking about, a walking area, exercise trail, nature walk, maybe put up a couple higher areas for viewing,
Whatever the state would let you do, I guess.
yeah. And,
Then that and,
there's a group out of St. Cloud that would be willing to come in here and just give us an idea, it wouldn't cost us anything until you build it. But at least they can throw something together and we'd at least know what we're facing.
you certainly can, that's not my call, that'd be up to Greg and,
Well, it's up to this group because that's considered part of the parks.
okay, I guess.
You know, to come up and look at it and tell us what,
Why
give
not?
us ideas that,
Doesn't
Why
do
not?
anything.
Yep. All right, but were you thinking, why does 72,000 or something like that stick in my head?
I heard that same number not too long back at a couple meetings.
was our total budget.
Yeah,
For improvement?
Isn't 20,000 of that going to
Yeah,
debt
you're
reduction
talking-
and
yeah,
52
yeah.
is,
That's, I know, we always start kind of there and then we chip away at it, but if we had a round number,
did you touch that when he told us that 8 years we're done with the Zoom?
yeah, I'd like to be done sooner and.
I was talking to Greg, you know, this whole thing about getting that zoo accredited might not be the best idea in the world. There might be hidden costs to that because then it restricts and limits what you have to do, and you might have to put on different personnel to take care of the animals, which could escalate costs, which might override what we get.
I think it's a lot of annual maintenance too that they're
Yeah.
gonna require once you get accredited to stay that way. And then they can kind of force you to. Now you guys are stuck, you're accredited, you're used to getting this money from the state, but now you have to do this, this, and this. And you're stuck doing
We
it.
need to know that.
Okay, before we really run, DNR outdoor grant, you've got it here. I believe everything we're talking about today would be eligible projects for this. I think that the city should go ahead and apply for this. In fact, we could take our entire budget plus all the donations that we've gotten this year or can get and pretty much double our money if we get this. If we would, at least if we apply for it, 'cause I believe we can apply up to 100,000.
Maximum grant award is 100,000, yeah.
If we'd have 100,000, we can spend 200,000. If we already know we've got, the city has 10,000 in their pocket, it's in their checkbook already from Alliance for projects. We just gave them another 10,000 last night, so that's 20,000 with our 50, you know, I think that it doesn't cost us anything to double our money. Why wouldn't we do it?
Why wouldn't
We have to pick a specific
That's
project.
gonna be
No,
the
it's
worst
all
thing.
these projects, I think you can, it's a combination of all of this stuff that,
But
Go ahead.
the more specific you are, the better chance you have. That's what everybody's told me about the grant writing. If you have a specific project or projects, and that's kind of why we wanted to go through all this stuff, to point towards.
When's the deadline?
February 12th, isn't it? February,
March 31st. March
or
31st.
March 31st.
So that gives us another meeting,
One more meeting to prioritize.
and then, somebody will have to write that grant up, somebody like you, you know.
I know nothing about that, but we'll find somebody.
Who's a good grant writer around?
Wendy usually does it.
Does she? Yeah.
How about consider making the treehouse thing at La Berger, because you're considering overnight camping there anyway.
We don't have a big enough trees.
No, but you can, he isn't gonna use the trees to suspend the houses anyway.
I
You
was
could
thinking-
build it around the existing trees and they could grow up inside of.
I was thinking of them big trees sitting in the middle of Gamrot. There's some huge trees still sitting there, and boy, that would draw people into that area.
Well, that was the other thing, I mean, I knew in Gamrot because they, what's her name, the gals from Live Better, Live Longer, whatever.
Oh,
they had
that,
sent us an email of what they wanted to do in there, like the raised beds. Well, it's minimal cost, a little bit of lumber, and those people over there build them. Yeah, we gotta get some topsoil or some growing soil in there. They also wanted flower gardens, they wanted a granite monument that they were willing to donate, basically, so, I mean,
There's somebody who was talking about the little shelter you're talking about, maybe a picnic table with a grill under there over at La Berger. Nothing expansive or expensive, but just get people out of the elements, you know? Walking trail for dogs or people over there.
they use it anyway.
Yeah, might as well throw some crushed rock or something down and,
Well, I think that is, I believe Greg has already talked about, you know, they took the bituminous out of there, that they are going to put in
yeah, walking,
through La Rochelle
yeah.
and, you know, not just make it like the road went, but just kind of go around the trees and then he's going to knock that down and put rock in front of the benches so that you can actually sit in the bench and look at the water instead of.
You'd have to
looking
keep the
at-
geese out of there or else nobody's gonna wanna walk the trail.
There
But,
isn't as many as there used to be.
No, probably not.
No,
And the
yeah.
more people you have there, the less apt they're
Yeah.
gonna nest there. You know, they'll move downstream or something.
Yeah, you just get the water out of the park.
Yeah. Okay,
All right.
I make a motion.
The only, hockey rink quote, I don't know, did we give them?
Well, we have two of them. The dashboards for Lindbergh Lions hockey rink. One from Becker Arena Products for $25,000. One from Atletica Sport Systems for $21,200. And that is from Canada, so that's factoring in the exchange rate, so that changed.
So that's favorable for us right now because
At that price, yeah, yeah.
How about shipping? You take it in.
It's
from
all gonna be
Canada.
shipping and tax and title and everything on top of that, you know, I mean, it's,
If you get it here, you might pay less for shipping and
Who can put it together?
well, they'll put it together, I mean,
But that's
This
just
is
materials?
installed,
oh, no, together, you mean at the hockey rink? I don't know who's gonna put it together,
We better find that out.
cause that's gonna be
city
added.
staff.
If it is, yeah, I don't know.
that's not that difficult. I mean, like putting up an erector set. I used to run that
Well,
summer.
this is just the exterior on the board, so I mean.
Oh, it's
basically-
not, they don't come in paneled sections.
They come in paneled sections, but they should match the boards that are there.
Okay. This one over here was my crew that built that thing because it was falling apart and I had that summer youth crew. So we went in there and did that. I built one in Northome for the school up there when I was there. Kind of cheated on it. It wasn't supposed to be regulation size because you're supposed to stay away from borders and I snuck it in there. Why have a hockey rink if it's not regulation, you know?
But, yeah, well, let's figure out the labor part of that, why don't we?
Okay.
do that? We gotta know everything before we get too deep into it.
and the one was not that far away. I would think their shipping would be far less than the place from Canada.
But if you can figure that, that might be a project that is a project for the DNR grant.
Well, I think if you're talking in the $25,000 to $30,000 range, Lions will pay for that. That's the figure that they originally,
Like I said, there you go, you
The-
get 25, 30.
Why don't we do it?
And you get the state to match that, now you got your labor.
Or get volunteers, there's a lot of people who'll be willing to do something like that, and then if you do get that grant, some of these other projects we can't afford, we'd like to put in, you know, your grills and all of that kind of stuff. I think whatever pans out the best way, that most bang for our buck, you know.
Greg was talking about lighting for the ball fields over there at Lindbergh Lions too.
Yeah, if you can maybe work up a decent project where it would all be in that same complex, might be the best way to get that DNR thing, because it would be one deal all in this.
That's nice, but
and the LED lights, that is also an MPNL grant. They will just about pay for the lights, you know, and it's really a good thing. And the softball association, John, is ahead of that. They are willing, they've got money and they are willing to help fund this too. And I know the WSIA and Limerick Lions, okay, this last month, each one to pay the $5,000 for the second ball field. So the $10,000 is already gonna be coming to the city for the second ball field. That's why I already talked to Greg about pushing that up from 18 to 16 on our deal, because it's already paid for, it's a funded project.
that's all good. But we need to use these other parks somehow.
I agree, but this isn't costing anything out of this as our park.
That's,
It gives us
yeah.
our money to spend on other parks.
That's why to prioritize this stuff is kind of important,
Yep.
probably before the next meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry I keep pushing that, but
Yeah, you're
if
right.
we wanna apply for the grant, we gotta have some time to do it. So we need to get something together, prioritize what you guys wanna see, and then I'm assuming that goes to the city council for the city council's approval. Once we make a recommendation, and you guys say, we're good to go, or we don't think it's worthwhile, or whatever, but
Alright,
Well, we want to, but we have to figure out which project we're gonna focus on for that.
that's right, that's right.
All right, we got homework.
Yes, we do.
And I'm always open for discussion, and Greg is too, if you guys have questions. You say, hey, what does this cost, what does that cost, what do we, we'll try to get some prices together. If you guys wanna get this stuff done and get it back to us before the next meeting. I mean, Frank, you're gonna look at for some prices and stuff, get back to us on that, so we can include that. Then it's kinda easy, we know what the prices are.
I have to go out there anyway. They use me as a bird guide in the summer.
This other grant that we had,
Rum River,
how would we get that?
I don't know,
When I talked to Greg about this a couple of weeks ago too, this year one, I believe that we don't qualify for that, we're out of the district.
I don't think we're anywhere close to the river.
No,
I was looking at
and
the
I-
communities, I know where they are.
Yeah, so do I, and I asked Greg and he goes, yeah, he did relook at it and he thought, yeah, that's probably right.
unless they didn't have any applications from that area and are looking.
They wanted to expand, and because it's our initiative foundation, right?
Yeah,
It's our region,
I don't know the answer to that question.
I think that is.
Whatever happened with that money, was it Burlington Northern or something that was gonna give us for,
The ARC,
yeah,
well, there's on the top of that,
There's a note on it next year.
there's some notes on top of the ARC. The outdoor recreation grant, BNSF 25,000, Knife River 2,000 for the ARC. I don't know what that's for.
something with bathrooms. That's, but doesn't necessarily mean that's where it has to go. Maybe Burlington might say, as long as it's used for the area, you know, the facility.
Now, if I remember right about the ARC, we were gonna back off until the school district got their thing through, and they're doing it again this spring, because they didn't get it last time. Is that what, I thought we said we'd back off of ours while they did theirs.
Well, if it's paid for, we're not gonna stick any money into the ARC right now. We have no money to stick into it.
Well, I mean, searching for big money.
And then, if you notice under the ARC, under the park, bathrooms are 30,000, 100,000, walking trails, 300,000 connecting to wherever.
There's only one way to get that kind of money.
That's right.
We have to wait to see what the school district, what happens. Okay, Russ Gloss came in discussing the ball fields, and he was gonna check into, up by the soccer fields out there, possibility of sticking in there, or maybe a rise.
You been by there lately?
They're going to do
They're
it.
going to do it, all the trees
Okay.
are gone.
All the trees are.
Except
So
for
it's a said thing, done deal. Okay, that's the school district, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
they still don't have a full-size, they're gonna have one full-size field, but it's supposed to be a JV park. Okay, I mean, it's,
So we're still looking at maybe putting one or two
One-
in the ARC
I
area.
think if you put one nice city
Yeah.
ball field there,
And then we wouldn't have to even buy any property.
no, you wouldn't have
Sorry,
to,
Jeff, I have to go.
nope, you wouldn't have to buy any property.
See, that would be the big stopping issue out there, buying more property and,
I don't think we were, yeah, we were thinking about buying the access properties to it,
Yeah.
right? But we were always gonna probably trade with the church,
okay.
services for that chunk of land that you would need. But it would be ideal for one nice city ball field there.
I think, just like everybody says, if the city, school gets that park in there, once you get something built, other things will follow.
Mhm.
It's just like what we're doing with
Actually, no, farm is
the
not.
bicycle trail right now, which we gotta get that thing going. Bob Reines is talking about moving.
Mhm.
A lot of people are starting to, well, this is dragging on forever and ever, less people are showing up. We're missing 3 board members now. That thing, we gotta get fired up about that, or else we got this big plan, $1,700,000 to DNR is just pretty much burning up. We got the trail plan for the west side, but we have nothing for as far as that ATV trail, and the longer we wait, the less chances we're gonna have of putting that through there, because right now, your landfill's talking about purchasing more land west, which would constrict that, because you can't have anything going through there. And we don't wanna have the ATV trail running along the highway, which we have a right of way there, but who wants to ride their ATVs along the highway, you know?
Well, the only thing that we can control basically is the city part of the deal, right? I mean, the county's gotta get all the rest of that.
Well, we need some people to really start pushing the need for it. And get it fired up, because then your lawmakers will notice you. Otherwise, if you're not putting anything in their ears, they're just gonna walk
You're
away.
talking county,
County, yeah.
you know, in the county,